yeah, we'll find out, I guess. Well, nah, she ain't gonna make it since she went the wrong way. I do like the fact that she changes direction depending on which way she's got infected and stuff. It's like my luck. Hold on. My luck chime in, best clock part of the game. I don't know, we had, I'll have to reread that in a moment. We had a raid a moment ago and I touched it for the first time, so I don't know. I mean, the other thing too is I'm just like casually chatting and shit. My luck, I chime in for the beat of the clock part of the game. I figure it's just me getting into the casual thing. If I focus too much, I'll probably just like, I don't know, maybe overthink it, perhaps. Like these ones I was climbing, I can't get it to turn around there. I was climbing all the way up that first sort of tree instead. Like, I'll say which one, like this one, right? I was climbing all the way over that originally, and it's a little bit of a waste of a time. So like I can make it to here. I just can't get it to turn around and go up from that position for some fucking reason. But I mean, I'll get it again eventually. I did say, like, it doesn't matter if it takes 300 goes, 4 hours, like, whatever works. We'll get there eventually. And I will put all of this, the entire length of this on YouTube. There's going to be at least 2 full episodes of me just doing this non-stop for people to, like, landmine find on the internet. I don't cut out and shorten shit like this. You get the full fucking playthrough experience, just the same as my community had to go through live. Only difference is that on YouTube you can fast forward and skip and be like, oh, I see how this is. I just won't watch the next one or something, you know? I'll just watch to where you like progress to the next section and it's like, it's fine. Somebody else will accidentally find the videos, you know? Or, no. I sort of do wish that she was able to, like, in a little sense, I kind of wish she could move a little bit faster. But I do sort of, like, it feels like it's slow. Like, I can't get away fast enough kind of thing. As opposed to, when the rest of the pace of the game, it feels like it's just the right speed. The other thing, too, is I need to remember to actually, like, be pressing the up key when we start, or otherwise I waste like that fraction of a second. But it's fine. Come on. Honestly, it's fine because like unless I actually make that first tree, it doesn't matter. But yeah, essentially there's supposed to be a creature up here that I'm supposed to be battling, and it has a sword and many faces, and I'll get there eventually. Oh, the fleshy sticks are probably quite I can tell happily. No, if I can. I understand. I unfortunately don't think, like, for as much as like your plushes usually help and stuff, I don't think that they're gonna help me up here this time. I don't think any number of feathers or plushes or any of that stuff is gonna work. It's just a matter of waiting. I'll make it or I won't. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, if this takes me the entire 8-hour stream, I will still just do it. It will absolutely suck, but it will go on the list for like being voted in if we have like 11 more subs, so, and we end up getting that extra day. We can always try again. That's why I can happily smiling. Plus, I mean, at the end of the day, if I don't complete this in the 8 hours, it will go onto the random games list. So I'll be able to play it again in the future. So yeah. All the games, unless I complete them in this Billathon event, will be part of my regularly scheduled random game night and stuff, you know? So if there's something you enjoyed and stuff, it will probably be back eventually. It just may take a while because I usually, out of all the days of the week I miss, Wednesday is kind of the one. where if I haven't got like good sleep or whatever on the weekend, I don't tend to like make it on Wednesday, which is really interesting because like I think like when I was working and stuff like that, I don't think Wednesdays were ever a difficult day for me. I always think Thursdays were harder, which makes sense because if I was tired on a Wednesday, a Thursday is usually grueling. It's kind of like how when I do art stream and then I have 7 days, not 7 days, sorry. When I have Diablo 2, I had to remember they both had a fucking D in their name and I had to remember how to say the word. When I play Diablo 2 on Thursdays, if I'm tired from art stream, there's like, it's a lot harder to do it, to play it. I don't play any game really, but I hate missing a stream day because I'm tired from another stream day. You know, I don't think that's fair. I'm gonna let it die this time. I'm gonna have that hydrate. I think it's been 2 hours. There we go. She had 3 quick deaths because I needed a drink. Yeah, based on Droll's hydrate, I would say probably 2 hours, which is fine. Doesn't really surprise me. Whoop. Every time it starts again and the tree starts breaking apart again, I just am in fucking awe of how beautiful this game is. And like, I'm not even getting to see the rest of the game at this point, but it's still, even the scene is still very pretty. It's not nearly as gorgeous as like the rest of the game, but it's still stunning, you know. Music and the stars in the background and the sunset and, you know, colors. I love the fact that it's not fully black. It's like an off shade of like the purples and the blues and stuff, you know, which is a nice touch. When you don't use fully like solid blacks or like the whites are white, you can see that. But like when you don't use full blacks and you use shades of black, you know, it ends up being prettier usually because of it. Whoop. Oh, there's a flower up there by the look of it. I wonder if that's a save point. I've been wondering for a while if the flower is a save point, and I guess if we can make it up there, we'll find out. It's definitely higher up than where I can get to. Whoops. Whee! At this point, I'm like borderline humming to the fucking song. I'm trying not to. No. I kind of wish her death sound wasn't as like deathy. It was a shock the first time she died, not here, but elsewhere, because we're in story mode where she's not supposed to be able to die. Adventure mode, this shit's supposed to be harder, by the way. So I'm playing on story mode, and adventure mode, all this is harder. Can you fucking imagine? Like, we just like never get past like some of the previous puzzles. And like, it has no narration, it has no, well, it has like a brief like little thing to pop up to say like what you gotta click on, or whatever, not click on, but like how to use your attacks and stuff. No, we aren't gonna get up there. So yeah, when it shows you like the brief thing, like that's as much information you know. Is like, you know, J is attack or K is like dodge and stuff like that. And the rest of it, like I kind of thought that it would use words to tell a story, but I'm not surprised that it just shows visuals and music and like color and stuff, because I think that's more powerful. Like, it's dramatic as hell at the moment. Whoa, go on. It's very peaceful. otherwise. So, what? Come on. Come on. We're so close. We're so close to that tree then. I kind of feel like sometimes the way she jumps is like slows her down. Whoops. How did I roll? I guess that's part of the dodge? Maybe? Depending on the angle of the terrain, perhaps? That wouldn't surprise me. Whoops. I think I have to land on that first thing. I suspect that there's a whole bunch of people that have like fallen asleep to this by now. Mind you, this part is like pretty dramatic sounding, but like definitely like the repetitiveness would have been soothing for some people. Like, I just have, like, the most relaxing fucking breathing from this. I really do. I don't think it's necessarily calming. Well, I think just knowing that, there doesn't seem to be a limit of life. There doesn't seem to be, like, a end to it. It's fine. Or nearly. Whoop, missed it. Just as I can fall asleep, so I'm going both wolf flushes. I'm not surprised if I can. You definitely get a nap. You'll probably wake up in some hours and I'll still be here. It'll be fine. Whoa. I just assume, like, I could only imagine as a streamer, like, I was just thinking, I'm like, there's probably a whole bunch of people that are like absolutely like noped out of this. And I'm like, because of how I stream, right, I don't see numbers, I don't see names and stuff unless like people engage in chat and stuff like that. I could just imagine how fucking depressing it would be if I saw like a whole bunch of numbers going down or something like that. Like the average streamer doing this kind of thing, potentially, as you guys have all kind of expressed, would find this stressful or what do you call it, like upsetting or something like that. And then on top of that, to like see the community just disappear would be like almost painful kind of thing. I've seen so many posts of like streamers and stuff like that in across socials and stuff lately, where they're like talking about how like due to like various algorithms and stuff like that, like some of their stuff just isn't getting seen. And then on top of that, of course, like various events and stuff like that that you do. And yeah, I think like the people, whoops, I haven't done that for a while. Expectations and all sorts of stuff. I just like the fact that regardless of if anybody's here, regardless of if anybody talks or listens or even has the audio on or can see the screen, stuff like that, like, you know, I'm enjoying the game and like I'll keep going with it and stuff like that. Like eventually we'll get somewhere. I'm sure at some point I'll have some kind of like, I'll always encounter some kind of like new chatter or something like that come in and just be like, for fuck's sake or something. I always get some rude cunt. But like aside from that, like, big whoop. Come on. For some reason I can't get her up there. Or you know why? I remember now. I've done the thing where I've locked in and thought that up is W instead of being space, because I haven't used it for a while. There we go. That's why I'm not getting up. I haven't been jumping upwards. This happens every so often. This is what I was talking about with the boxing earlier. Whee. Because I hadn't got to a spot where I needed to use it, because like for a while we stayed in that like bottom area and stuff. And there we go. Who knows if I'm fast enough at this point. Oh, I'm fast enough. I'm just not accurate. Accuracy It's a thing people claim to have. I might be fresh out of it. Sorry, I was just thinking of a joke. I was just thinking of a joke in the sense of like, you know how like there's always like the, oh, my dad went out to get milk so many years ago joke, right? So I was just thinking, I'm like, it's like, like, I don't know, my dad went out to get, what did I just say? I've forgotten the word, but whatever it was, and I'm like fresh out of it. I'm also like fresh out of like memory, apparently. Which is funny because like, oh, it could be because like this part of the game is using like a bit of like, at some point it should become muscle memory, but unfortunately death has become muscle memory for me. So it's not quite where like that, like I'm starting to do the thing where I'm repeating the fuck ups more than I'm repeating like the follow throughs. That's fine. We'll get there or we won't. Imagine this. So I think we had like 2-ish hours before this kind of started happening. Imagine that. You get a 7-hour stream of just pure this. Like non-stop. Endless this. Like the music fucking slaps. Whoops. Nearly. Okay, well, we're not going to be fast enough to get on the next tree up, but it'd be fine. Yeah, we're definitely not fast enough for the next tree. I can't even get over there. I want to see further up the tree, I really do. We will make it. If at any point I, like, I don't know, I guess, like, stop talking and stuff like that, don't stress. I'm just, like, I don't know. My brain's, like, fresh out of information. Again, it needs to go to the store. Or it needs to come back from the store. There we go. That's the correct response to that. Imagine that. Imagine being able to go to a store and get more memory for your brain. And not like a hardware extension or something like that, but it's just like, oh, I need to be able to remember to do this event next week. And I'm like, oh, I better go expand that by like eating this particular food or something like that. They'll enhance it and stuff, you know. Or like extend the space capacity or something for a temporary amount of time. Like, oh man, temporary effect foods and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Obviously, that would be such a hacks in real life for people. There'd be so many people that would figure out exploits. There'd be so many, like, there'd be, like, poison effects for it. Like, if you take too much memory stuff, it poison you and it works in reverse. Or, like, whatever. Like, imagine that. It's like you take, like, 3 memory potions, IRL, and then as a result of that, like, you get, like, buffed amnesia or something like that, where you just can't remember. And or what do you call it? What's the dementia? Come on. Not thinking on the tree. Yeah, dementia or whatever. Like it buffs you with dementia for like a week instead or something like that if you have like multiples, like abuse the thing. But that'd be funny because like people would want to risk it and then they'd end up with like it negatively affecting that time frame that they plan to do something kind of thing, you know. I could see it happening. People like that. I still love seeing how this tree breaks apart. Whoops. Nope. Oh, I can't get onto it. Every time it starts again, I start, like, trying not to hum. Oh, never. We'll get there eventually. Someday, some year, in a galaxy somewhere far, far away, we will see the top of this tree in an alternate timeline. And, then I don't know. I guess then we'll do a boss battle or something. I still find it interesting that Neva barks. Like, I know it's a magical wolf, but like, I'm not too familiar with like wolf stuff, but I kind of always thought that wolves didn't bark, kind of thing. I always thought that like most wolves kind of like howl, kind of like whine, stuff like that. So those sort of noises. Yeah. Whoops. I almost didn't make that. I still don't think we're far enough ahead for making it, but we'll see. Like, it's one of those things where it doesn't really matter unless I like get all the way up the tree anyway. No, I see your paws moving, Barkin. No, barks a little bit. Alright, so wolves can bark. Cool. Barkin's proof. Barkin is all the canonical proof we ever need for any wolf situation. Oh, almost. There's a couple of times where like I do it a little bit faster, or I go a little bit higher or whatever, and like jump higher or like land higher or whatever. And then there's like times when I just don't manage to do it. I could only imagine like by the time I do editing on this, I question how I'll feel about the music in this part. Because this is what I'm probably going to remember about this game. Like with Pokemon, not in a bad way, let me just clarify that. But like with after playing Pokemon, all I could think of was I had the Pokemon music in my head. And same with like Long Live the Queen and stuff like that. And this, I kind of feel like this, I'm going to be like brushing my teeth or fucking don't know what. And this will go off in my head and I'll be like, fuck's sake, I gotta go climb a tree. Oh man. Just imagine me out in the yard like fucking climbing up some random tree. So somebody's asking me, it's like, the fuck are you doing? It's like, I've got to do it. The music compels me. Oh man. Oh no, I accidentally paused for a second there. I like hesitated. I don't think we're moving fast enough. Basically, if the tree off to this side has a chance to stop moving, I'm not far enough up. My cats just looked at me like I was crazy. They might be right. It's fine. You don't need sanity. The funny thing is, because further up this tree is like darker and stuff, I feel like this part is lighter. It probably is. Well, actually, yeah, obviously. The earlier part, I'm used to seeing it be like darker or lighter or whatever the fuck the area is. Sunset, sunrise, something like that. I don't know how to explain this portion of what I'm trying to say, but it's a word in a place, in a sentence, possibly. I'm not sure. There might be a paragraph involved. God, I love my brain sometimes. It's just absolute ludicrous. Like... I was thinking about it earlier, and I was wondering if it would have helped if I could have kept this like in some level more zoomed in or something, because like when it zoomed out, because it does zoom out more as we go higher up. It's not super noticeable, but the slight difference in distance is noticeable to me. And when I see it, it's like I can't quite perceive how far I'm supposed to jump and stuff. And it's like it tricks me up a little bit. I had noticed it like really early on, but I hadn't really thought about it being an issue. Like then we're definitely behind with this now. Well, yeah, we ain't going up. Sometimes we start really well and then I die And it's not like it's upsetting or anything. It's not like I'm sad. But it's like I kind of wish that I could like flow with that good timing again sooner. You know? Because like sometimes I latch onto a tree really quickly and we move and I feel like we're ahead of it by like a lot. And then I just make some kind of small mistake and all of a sudden I'm like pushing behind the time like I am at the moment. So even if I make this tree, even if I make the next tree, stuff like that, you know, there's a pretty good chance that like this, I'm not going to make this tree. You know, like I can kind of like already tell. Sorry, something was like stuck to my finger then. Is something on my key? No, I'm wearing off a part of my key. Okay, that's fine. That does not surprise me. I was actually thinking this earlier at one point and I'm like, I'm going to wear down a couple of my keys in new places where they shouldn't be able to wear. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Sorry, I just had to fix up what was on the key. Some of the coding, the top part of it has a color and the letters and shit on it. It's getting like rubbed off. And it was like feeling irritating to me. So I just had to like scratch it off a little bit. That happens occasionally. A lot of the keys on my keyboard are pretty worn away. I do have like relatively acidic skin. It's like, I've always had that with like jewelry and specifically watches and stuff. Like the old watches before they became like all these digital ones and stuff. I don't know what metals they were using, but I always used to like wear through the materials or like have like, I don't know, discolorations against my skin from them and stuff like that. Like, you know. It's just kind of normal to me. My mum's got the same kind of acidic shit. One of my cousins got it worse. Her skin just like fucking eats through metal. Oh, I just barely made that. I'm not gonna make that one, but... I do like the fact that they choose grey on that last one. So really only her, what do you call it? Her hair being white and her cape being red. Really the only colours. It's way more striking, you know? Like a small pop of red. I mean, she kind of looks like she's wearing blue stuff here, but it's mostly just the color dampening it kind of thing, you know? I think we're on time with this one. I might be able to latch onto another tree. Don't know how we'll go, but alright. Nope. Fucking close though. We were on time for that one though. Don't fall asleep. No. I see you. Automatically just starts humming. This is one of those games where like I feel, compelled to do sightseeing and I keep looking at like the stars and shit in the background because the game's just pretty. And I understand like I gotta stop, but like it's pretty, you know? I don't think it's what's like causing me to die. I know that's just coordination. After this, the whole rest of the game's going to be like so peaceful if we ever make it past this. Like the funny thing is, if I did this in, say, off stream and stuff like that, it could quite frankly take just as long, if not longer. Especially since off stream, I'd probably like let her fall a couple of times, like rest my wrists and shit like that. I'm not saying anything's wrong. I'm just saying like the difference between like how I would play on stream versus off stream is not that different. I still have just persistence. Somebody will just label it as stubbornness, and it's just not stubbornness. It's legitimately just persistence. Like, I know we'll get to it eventually. Unfortunately, a lot of gamers